It is at 12:33. Commissioner Gibbons is on his way, and Commissioner Broomall hadn't been able to clear her schedule since her swearing in, but she'll be won't be attending this meeting here, this workshop today. And we do want to check with her and find out if this is going to be a conflict with her for her work, and if it tends to be, then we're going to have to change the time that we can all make most of the meetings. So we'll work on that collectively as we move forward. The first item up on the agenda or for discussion is 124 East Main Street. 124 East Main Street is the parcel of land between the Pallet and the Page, no, 122 Gallery 122, and the coffee place, or East Main Coffee Shop, I guess it's called, right? Am I correct? Cafe. I'll get them right here eventually. Coffee place, where I have my coffee every morning, or most mornings. We had, Luke, can you elaborate? I think we had received a letter from the owner.
No, not from the owner, from a realty person representing the owner, wanting to know if there was any interest by the town to purchase the property. That's what it looks like today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what it looked like on June 8th.
Yep. I think at one time.
Obviously, at one time there was an apartment building there, Leaning Tower of Elkton.
Leaning Tower of Elkton.
Yeah. And after a number of requests, he finally tore it down. So what's left is just the remnants of the property, unimproved now. Well, the real estate agent asked me to convey to the board if they were interested in the property, to get in touch with him. His name is Jeffrey Close of the Harry Hopkins Company.
Okay.
And he represents Mr. Santini, the owner.
Very good. I guess collectively, is it something that the town would have any interest in? You know, my knee-jerk reaction to it is it would be great to have a walkway similar to the walkway that we have at the end of, I guess that would be the end of West Main Street, right?
Yeah, it's in West Main Street.
Yeah, the walkway on West Main Street.
East Main.
That's west. Would it be west? North Street's the break-even point. Yeah.
West Main Street that way, East Main Street that way.
From where's the dividing point?
I'm East Main, it's North Street, and then Minnie Hayes is West Main.
Okay, where's the walkway at, the one that's currently existing?
Oh,
West Main Street.
West Main.
That's what we were
Oh, I
saying.
thought you were talking this one.
No.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
Okay, so we have one on West Main Street. My thoughts would, this would give us one on East Main Street, and it would be a beautiful connecting, we could make it a connecting point down to Howard Street and connect to the ball fields down it that way. Now, once again, it all comes down to the cost of building a walkway. Is a walkway of any value to us? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? I'm not sure.
I always said that was the perfect place for another walkway. Louis, being you have the plan there, is there a parking lot that comes with that as well? Because some of those properties have parking, some doesn't.
It goes down. Okay, here's the property.
Where does it stop? Does it go to Howard Street?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it may, but I can't guarantee it until we have a survey done.
Because
But it
that
goes
would
down
give
into that
us-
wetlands that
Yeah.
floods. So you couldn't put a sidewalk in there and be underwater at the time, so you'd have to build something up and get out to Howard Street.
So we couldn't
But
put
there's no
parking
parking lot.
there?
I don't know if you could put it, if you wanted to, I don't know if you could infill that. I think it's floodplain, actually. Look at that. You could put a very big parking lot because it's a real narrow strip.
Yeah, but
20.99
still it gives some
acres.
parking and the stairway up to that end of the street.
Right now, it would just, if you did have a path there, it would just go right out onto the street. You know where to park or anything, because you can't park along that edge.
Michelle showed me that letter from the community guys were doing that all week. And I was at the coffee shop the next day, looked at it, and look at it from Main Street, it looks like a great idea. When you look at it from Howard Street, it's a little bit more challenging, because, you know, the dental arts building behind next door?
Right.
That
Comes
seems
over.
from right up the
You're right.
property line. And then if you look, I believe there's some telephone poles with some electric lines.
It was actually a sanitary sewer in that.
Okay, and there's a row of trees that kind of really include in there, and I think on Main Street, it looks like it would be a great entryway into the state, you could do something to get access back there. Clean it up. I just thought, that's a project for them, I think.
Well, I
Is that
think
what-
also if we're able to acquire that with strategic demolition money from the state, I know Jean's on vacation this week, but if she would be able to look into that, that would be a good project for the town.
Earl, any comments?
She's now dealing with Main Street development part of it. I just want to make sure that money's not being wasted on just space that we're not going to be utilizing. That's the only comment I would have. And I know you want to do something to beautify that little section there. So whatever can work to make it just a little bit more appealing. Steps are a great idea. If not that, what other options do we have to use it for? That would be my question.
Now, I know in his letter, he sent a price, which was, if there was a 2-3-story building on it, it was probably the value of that. I think that we're way out of line with their initial number that they shot through. But is it, would we say that we should move forward, Lou, with the appraisal on that lot? Or do we just, what's your thinking? We need to know what he would sell it for.
Well, I know what he wants to sell for, which
And
is crazy.
ridiculous.
But, back when they tore it down, they put that stand up there.
Oh. I couldn't guess.
Well,
Like,
Washington.
a nice slide for sledding.
Yeah, that's what, be good for sledding. If you want to have an appraisal done, we can have it done.
But, you know, I would also say this, I don't think that the value of that lot right now is no more than a $10,000 lot.
I agree. I remember that.
It's a structure that was there when it was uncovered.
It gotta be old.
Well, the Bat Cave,
Unique. The way the bricks were formed in an arch like that.
Some of them buildings on that side in the basement, you could see the original street.
well, let me ask you this, Lou, could you reach out to them and see what the lowest amount that they would accept? And I would say that we make a decision at that point. I would not be prepared to offer any more. I mean, the letter came across as like $175,000. And,
We didn't pay that for that building.
to us, or actually to anyone that wanted to reconstruct that building, it would be, they'd have to really have a focus in on that building. But the value to put a sidewalk there, I'd almost have to say they'd be better off maybe donating the land and taking a tax credit.
Yeah.
That might be possible. Because the owner approached me before like that, and he found out that I was apparently approaching, and was trying to be creative in how that might, I think that's just since I'm there, that's probably, but I know they've had communications. in the
I
past.
have, and he at one time was going to donate, and then ended up changing his mind and getting a realtor.
If he hasn't, I think we have an appraisal on 75, don't we?
Well, the state, the assessment on 60.
60. They may be a better person.
Well, I guess the comment would be, yeah, we're interested, but we can't,
Not for that one.
no. Everyone agree with that?
Absolutely.
Very good. The next item on the agenda is the feral cat population, and I'm not sure what this was on the agenda for. And
I don't know, I've sent a response to her, and, which I probably would do on.
After the, Mrs. Clark came and the board made the decision that they were not going to pay that invoice, Mrs. Clark called back, and I think it was after she'd received the notice as well, or after Dr. Carletti received the notice, and she asked to come before the board again, but she's obviously not here.
Okay.
That's why it was scheduled for today.
Very good. I guess the quickest workshop ever. But there was a few other things that wasn't on the agenda, but I'd like to kind of follow up with. At our last meeting, Lou, you made a recommendation not to move forward with the electrical inspector being kind of a one-stop shop. Is that and I've gone back and forth with this thinking. And I tend to lean with you on this.
Well, our biggest project we have going now, as I said, is electrician is Cooper, is the sub for Fairsham, the general contractor, and they're using American as the third-party inspector. And I had initially, when we had the meeting, with the pre-construction meeting, or actually a pre-bid meeting, I think, I had recommended the Bay Area, but their electrician made the choice. Because the electrician makes the choice of who does the inspection, not the general contractor.
Okay.
I'm not sure when the Rangers approached us about doing it, even if you wanted to do it, I'm not sure how you'd enforce it. You know, you couldn't tell big companies, you know, that they have to have a selection of two people, you can only use one. I'm not sure how you rationalize doing that.
I've seen, I can tell you, I've looked at it from a couple different perspectives, and when they came in and made their presentation, quite frankly, if we would have voted that night, I would probably said, yes, let's go with them. And since that point, I have spoke with contractors that have been in the need for getting the inspection services done, and they like the idea of having two. They don't want to be pinpointed into any one electrical inspector. I've heard stories that they've called one or the other, and there's been, this one may not be able to get out for 7 to 10 days, and this one can get out in 5. They're going to give it to the one that can get out in 5, so they can button down the job down. And it goes a lot of different ways. But from the protection of the town, I thought, okay, if we went with one agency, then we knew that if there was ever a problem, then we know who that we could go with. I don't think it's fair that we move forward with Bay agency if we didn't interview the other agency also. If we were looking at making that decision, I think it needs to be a fair process here. It's currently not broke as far as I can see it. So I'm with Lou here. Does Chip have any other insight on this, or is he?
No, he was reluctant to nail down one. He was reluctant to do that. So we've always used Bay Area in the past, but
We use them. I know we use them.
You know, the electrical board got approved by the county and everything, and so that's how there's two. So
Yeah, I think that our position is we're going to use them whenever we can, but I think it's
yeah, we
very.
can.
Yeah, but from requiring other people in our town to use them, I don't know. What do you think?
Good way of looking at it.
Yeah, we're gonna use them.
What we do,
And we do.
when we have another project coming with larger
that sort of inference. But
Yes.
you can easily deal with that, just like periodic auditing. If somebody's expected to go to school, somebody has to look at the job. On sort of a regular basis, they don't know when it's coming, why that's going on. Then you can deal with the problem. There seem to be more benefits than.
Hello, Charles.
Seem to be more benefits than anything from a legal perspective.
Yeah.
We just opens, like, worms just have that sole source of one is available. Okay.
Earl, how you feeling about it?
Well, going along with the board, I would like to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to use the services in the town, not just one person. I was going to, like you said, I was going to go that one road for Bay, is it Bay?
Bay Area.
Bay Area. And, you know, after, like I talked to several people, some of the things that, that actually were brought to my attention was that it seemed like they would have to go to Delaware or someplace else to get business because they're never going to get business in town without if electric is just shy to one person. So I looked at that as a way of make someone change their whole career now because they're expected to either bid on a job or get some of the work, not just push it into another state because you lock down all the work for one person. One comment did come up.
Charlie, what we were talking about was, we finished the first two items.
You talking about what Lois was saying, spreading the wealth?
Well, yeah, we were talking about the electrical contractor.
Right.
And from the electrical, whether we should sole source it, and Lou made a recommendation for us not to move forward with the sole source. And I kind of gave both of my, you know, I'm literally on that fence with it, but I think I would have to say, after talking to contractor friends of mine, they want a choice.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't think there should be a monopoly. I think the wealth should be spread. And I, follow through on what Lois had written, and it does make sense.
So I think that the issue's dead. All right. What else did we have on our agenda that we need to talk about? This is a,
You wrote a letter of support to President Merrill.
yes.
And I sent it to the board.
Yeah, everyone should have received an email. Preservation Maryland was looking for a letter of support for their funding process, and I went ahead and autographed it, and we drew up a letter, and we sent it to the whole board. We have another little parcel that we could, since we were talking about land, at our last meeting, we got the bids in for the municipal parking lot, and it came back 2 and sometimes 3 times higher than what our engineering estimate was. But the parcel, if you were to come down the alleyway between 107 North Street and North Street Hotel, and you were to keep going straight without going left or right, you would run right into that old, there's like a garage there, and there was a curve there, and there used to be an old tree there. Well, the owner of what used to be the Jimmy Shoe Repair Building in the Stanleys, or I'm trying to think of it. No, the guy that owned it was Stanley.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of his name. But he owned the building, and he just sold the building, but there was also a little sliver of land that he didn't sell. That little sliver of land adjoins our town municipal parking lot, and it kind of runs a little bit down Bow Street. He had offered it, contacted Chip and asked if the town had any interest in maybe acquiring that little sliver of property. Since we have now delayed our municipal parking lot, I would almost consider saying, get Lewis to reach out and say, yeah, we do have interest. How much are you looking at doing this? You just sold your building. Would you consider donating that little parcel to the town of Elkton? I think the value to the town would be, we could probably get 2 or 3 more parking spots, but I also, if we decide that we wanted to put an exit or entrance onto Bow Street, I think it opens up that opportunity. Now, I did bring that up with the town planner, and she felt that if you made it a exit or an entrance, you might have to cut throughs going through the parking lot, but you have that anyway. But I think it's something for us to consider, especially since we delayed the project. It may be something we can suck into the project. Any other, Charlie, you have any feeling on that, or?
I was perfectly agree.
So Lou, if you could reach out, I think it's Mr. Butler that owns that now.
Yeah, I pulled up a platinum.
Aaron Butler owns that parcel. And with him just selling that building, might need a big write-off. I know it wasn't much money when he was asking for that little sliver, but it might be something that we need to consider. Anything?
Can I add to that parking lot?
Yes.
Since the parking lot is on hold for a little bit.
Well, it's on hold, we're doing.
Oh, is that
We're
what
gonna
you
do it.
decided, we're gonna do it?
Oh my God, yeah, we're Dan's meeting with the electrician tomorrow for the run conduit and everything. We're gonna get a conduit to.
I didn't know.
Because they need to run conduit to all the lighting.
I'm
fixtures.
loving this, Lou George. Look at it.
We're gonna buy the lighting fixtures and charging station, Gene, and we'll deal with the contractor, one down near Columbia or wherever, to put the charging stations in because it's not in the morning or anything. Then our guys will do the curbing and landscaping, and then we'll get somebody to do the milling and paving. Oh, we need an electrician, and we'll use Air to do the third-party thing, and then we'll probably get a couple quotes for the milling and paving, and we'll do the rest.
Oh, fantastic.
I was
We're not
almost,
gonna put that off, we want to move.
Well, I know, and I was just gonna say, because I know when we were down there at KCI, they say there is room now for cars to come in off Main and to exit on.
Yeah, we want to do that.
And so it says do not enter now, and someone had asked me about it, I was just telling the mayor.
We're gonna have to.
And so I said even that sign could come down now, and just say Main Street parking or downtown parking.
Well,
But I
what
didn't
if
know
it
you were
closes?
moving forward with the parking.
well,
lot.
the question is can we take that sign down now and let people enter in off?
Well, I'm not sure we want to do that now because when we start cutting this thing up, we're gonna have to close that. Because we have a lot of big ruts.
When do you estimate this project being done by?
Well, I spoke to Brad, he is talking to the electrician, Bradley Electric tomorrow to find out when they could run the conduit. So what to do the activation, what to check, probably do some test bits and everything. I can't give you time right now, so we talk to the electrician to find out. And I don't know how long it will take to get the fixtures and everything. If they come in, they're estimated $2,500 a piece for the fixtures, but if we can get them quickly, we could actually install the light fixtures and have them, and energize them before we even do the rest of the work, you know?
Could-
We have to lay it out.
Could you possibly see it being done by this paving season? October, November?
Yeah, I think so.
That resolves the issue there, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that was quick.
It
I
was.
think because we don't have to stumble around and change orders or anything now, we just do it ourselves.
Okay.
Well, I can tell you there's, and I'm not going to get into too much detail here, but there's a possible new business that's looking at that building, and that was one of the questions that they raised. We don't want to have that, do not enter into that parking lot if there's anything we can create. But the estimated time that they were looking at was maybe November, October. So that's good. It's a wonderful thing. Mr. Lemon?
What I'm bringing up is a closed issue. But create a sidewalk between Randers and Buttonwood.
Mhm.
I've been over there a couple of times at night, people are walking down the street. I view that as a safety issue. And I'm just, I don't understand, I see the point. I don't understand why we can exercise limited domain, put a sidewalk in there. And it's a safety issue.
And listen, I'm gonna, I can answer
We
it.
wouldn't use eminent domain, it would take years.
The owner of the land is actually gonna give us the easement, and that's what we're working on now. to put that sidewalk in. The challenging part is in our town ordinance, it says the town does not construct new sidewalks. Is that the right?
It should be the property owner.
It should be the property owner, but in this case, I'm gonna ask the board to, let's make a change and let's get that sidewalk in.
Yeah, it's very dangerous.
But we agree 100% with you, but
Yeah.
we're in the process of trying to get that easement from the, and they're 100% for it. They're happy to give us that easement.
There's no problem.
There is no problem.
Yeah.
There really isn't a problem, other than us being in,
You change your own rules.
we have to change our rules. We have to change our own rules, and we have to have 4/5 of us to say yes, and I think we do, and then we're gonna get that sidewalk in.
Super.
I think we all agree on that. That's a major safety
Oh, it's
issue now.
awful.
And I guess the thumbs up, everyone's already sidewalking on in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jalou?
He already wanted to say he had a summons for me today, so I got a little nervous, but.
Oh, they, you know. Very good.
Stopped me on the street and I said, he waved me down and said, open up the store, and so I said, you know,
Yeah, let's bring it over.
Well, actually, we moved into Elkton, so he went to.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
So
He sold his farm, he sold it. So he's living in Elkton and he wanted to, so that's why now he's a resident, so.
We've accomplished a lot in a half hour here. Lou, the other, another thing that, when we were at the municipal league, in the board, we were walking around as a group and we were hitting, just about every vendor, seeing what they had to offer. The, and I apologize, and I know Mary Jo probably knows the name of it, so I'm gonna rely on her to remember this. The name of the recreational company that does the lighting. Is it Fusco or?
Well, it's in the book.
Yeah, we buy from them.
They were a vendor there.
They were.
They were.
Well, West
Yeah.
Electric, I mean, West.
It started with an F.
Yeah.
They did the part, they did the reception.
Oh, God, now you're.
It's in the book, though.
It's in the book.
It's in the book.
Well, when we went around and we met with that gentleman, and then he introduced us to a young lady, they perform lighting audits for recreation for free. We need to get the lights turned at Meadow Park, because we're entering into football season, and they're gonna be in here giving us a lot of grief, because we did ask to see if we could move a couple of those lights to see.
Yeah,
if-
Bradley Electric is, Dan, Dan here. He's getting Bradley
Oh,
Electric to get it.
well, you're already on it then, see, this is good.
Yeah, he said they're gonna turn them around.
But my question is I don't want to turn them around if it's going to take away from too much light from the other. This group will
It'll
come
take
in.
away some light, because you have so many lumens that are generated by two lights, and half
I
of
know.
that, if you turn them around.
Well, maybe we can contact this Fusco, F-U-S-C-O.
No, I don't think that.
I can look it up.
the
I
vendors.
just have I have them in my old book, like, you know, I show it as a vendor.
But they'll give us a light audit. They'll come out and they'll do a light audit. They got the meters, and they'll be able to tell if, they'll be able to know immediately if we turn two lights on the other side, if it's a sufficient amount of light on the backside of that. My point is I think that we're gonna need a couple rows of lights back here instead of flipping lights. I'd rather see 4 additional lights on each pole rather than.
Musco.
Musco.
Musco Sports Lighting.
That's what it's called.
Good
Must
try.
be.
Musco, all right. that's close.
Musco.
Musco.
So is there any cost for
I
that?
had everything other than the F correct.
Is there any cost for us to do that survey? Right.
Zero cost.
Yeah, that's the one.
She said it was zero cost for the light audit for recreational lighting. They come out, they wait until the middle of the night, because I was telling them exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to flip the lights, and of course, they're trying to sell lighting. And they're trying to sell lighting.
On instinct that people do stuff.
They're trying to sell lighting, but they also said, we'll come out and give you the audit, and they'll give you the range. I said, do you have the range? I said, because we're looking at trying to put a practice facility on the backside so we can have multiple things going on. Right now, our biggest argument down there has been, we only got one lit field, and we probably got several.
Well, I'll football use
and we got the Saints team that wants to use it. And I had the discussion with Mary. Mary is now gonna start charging by the season for the electrical. That's something that we really hadn't done in the past. So it's part of the contract, it'll be part of their contract, we know how much it's gonna be, and whether they pay it or not, or we accept it as a donation, but at least there will be accountability of who's using the electric down there. Make sense?
Yeah.
So that was good, right? What else do we have that we need to?
Well, you remember we were standing on High Street when you was walking on it, and basically there's a lot of street sports that have sidewalk, they really need to be grubbed. If not now, they need to be planned next year. I remember about 5 years ago, Public Works had all their Independence Day overtime just to grub up the street, it looks bad.
It doesn't.
I mean, you can just ride down High Street and look, and you can just see grass is growing up.
Yeah.
And that doesn't belong to anybody, but, you know, this is part of your town. Somebody ride through, they see grass growing, and all the other things you want to attract them to.
It's up to the board to blow our overtime out, though.
No, I did not, well, for now, that's true, but we need you to ride down there so yourself.
Oh,
and then
I
charge.
agree that if property owners want to take ownership of the sidewalk in front of their homes or businesses, then that defaults to the town. But, you know, I hate to say it, but in a lot of communities, the homeowner that butts the street is responsible for maintaining that section of the sidewalk. That's a very common way that communities deal with it, rather than allowing their government to take over that responsibility. Because the impact will be on the taxpayers eventually, because our manpower is limited. I mean, our guys are out there cutting grass, and now they have code cuts too. So you're running out of people.
Well, I would say this, that,
Then I got them painting out here.
and it looks wonderful. You're doing a great job with that. I guess
And not only that, I think you really have more pedestrian traffic in town, that lends itself to the same thing as well.
It is looking great out there. I'm glad the railings are getting painted. It needs to be done.
We told them to do that, but go ahead.
Good, Charlie.
See, I told them to do it, but somebody told me to make them to do it.
But the sidewalks, for example, I will tell you, if we started, there is no doubt in my mind, in a 5-day window, tops, I would almost think it'd be a 3-day window, if you had one public works person on one side of the street and one on the other side of the street, they could go from one end of High Street to the other end of High Street easily in one day. They could go one end of Main Street to the other end of
So
Main
you're
Street.
just talking about downtown?
I'm talking about one end of Main Street to the other end, one end of High.
What I'm saying is,
Mackle Street.
We're talking about the urban areas of town rather than get out in residential neighborhoods.
Yes.
That'll kill us. We just-
Well, I know we can't go into Patriots
We
Land, we
understand that,
can't go
yeah.
into Kensington
Right,
Court.
yeah, we know that, yeah.
Oh, my God.
But I think in the heart of our town, and including, and I know it may not be our responsibility, but we need to take it, including Route 213.
The business district.
The business going straight down all the way to the Big Elk Mall, all the way across the other side. And I think that they could do it with weed eaters. They don't even have to grow.
You gotta be careful, you just worry
They're
about cars with weed eaters.
No weed eaters?
Yeah, if there's nobody around to find.
Well, we're
you
doing
gotta
it
be
on,
careful,
we're doing it on North Street now.
Yeah,
with
they
weed
just
eaters.
started, they
With
used,
the
I was
cars,
gonna
with
say,
the
yesterday
cars.
they started with a weed eater and then spray.
That's good, if there's no cars around.
Well, they're usually
Well, my
out
point
there
is, if we
seven-
sprayed at the beginning of the
You don't have
year,
any trouble with
then we wouldn't have any
no
issues.
cars.
Remember, Louis, you're a miracle worker, remember that.
there's no one better at this than you.
No, I
You're the
already got
best.
it. The board has no reservations about the use of manpower and on this. I don't have a problem, because I'm sure there's people who volunteer.
We don't. We don't, we want it done.
Yeah.
There's no one better at
See, if
getting this done.
they clear the weeds out and you can get, they have spray. I don't
Yeah.
know why they don't use that more frequently.
Well, you know, one of
I think
the,
they've come out, really, the past 2 weeks, the weeds have gone crazy. And I walk, you just walk up Main Street or anywhere, in my own house, and all of a sudden, boom, it's just been one of them summers.
and one of the things that we did budget, and I know it was acquired, or in the budget, was the gator Wasn't that put into the budget? Yeah, it was.
Get it?
It was in there. Yeah, the gator was put into Public Works, yeah, it was. We never took it out, and they're gonna put the goal with this was to put the weed killer in the back with a hose reel. You'd have the guy driving at 5:30 in the morning, when no one's out, he's driving right down the middle of the street, and he's got the hose, and he's doing what he needs to do on both sides. I'll be happy to volunteer and do that, because that's gonna give me my 2 miles of walking in the morning. That's ready to volunteer, thank you. Make sure you put that in.
You were talking about using weed whacking at first and then put your weed killer down. I have used weed killer, not steroid, down about landing. I don't cut it down, I just take the nozzle, get it close to where it is, spray it on.
And it's done.
And it's done, you don't even have to bother. Then, because it can look nasty afterwards, then you go back to the stick broom, if you talk about anything sidewalk, then just sweep it up, it comes right out of the ground.
Did we budget for it, Steve?
You skip a step.
We have a utility vehicle, 22,000, that's a Gator.
Yeah.
$22,000.
I don't have the detailed budget.
No, that was
I gotta
the,
buy a police car.
that was it.
I don't have the detail, this is under utility vehicle, 22,000, in Public Works.
Yeah,
I
that,
think, I'm gonna look at the notes of it, said Gator. How much do they cost?
what did you think the utility vehicle was? That's what I was saying.
It cost $10,000 and
I said, by the time you put put all the accessories on
And
it,
a golf cart,
It's in this video.
isn't that the same thing basically?
that's how much a golf cart is.
$22,000?
I would think a golf cart is a battery operated golf cart.
22.
Now, he brought the better one, 40.
I'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out, maybe I'm mistaken. Listen,
No, that's what's in the budget.
John Deere, I'll get any tractor on it.
but I do agree with you. They're about, I think those gators are around 15,000, not 22, but I think that by the time you add the tank, the hose reels, the whole accessory package, we were even talking, listen, I'll bet you that includes this, the snow blower attachment and the,
Oh, that's right.
and the
So get
plow.
in the smaller places.
We were looking at using it in areas that we could use
Multiple
it.
use.
Yeah. So I know it was a fully loaded utility vehicle.
I think for storm ponds too, wasn't it?
Yep, it was gonna be used around the storm ponds. So what else do we have here on this agenda?
I have one with.
Yes.
And I'm glad Mr. Lemon's here. This was just brought yesterday, but the rebate program for the lighting that we had started with, for all the lampposts is back. So, are we gonna move forward? Because I know because she said faster than, because actually Patty Croce, who was here to present to all of us, she was laid off for 2 months because of this time, and this is what she does. So she said she would take advantage of it now before they decide to close it again. She's telling everyone. So it is open, ready to go.
I got a.
Thumbs up.
Got a.
She said Chris sent it to you. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
Last week.
Saw that the last meeting.
Yeah.
Let me just look at my notes since we have a little bit of time here.
My suggestion is that we move with the lacquer. Last time it didn't happen because it took us too long to move to get.
I know.
So this time, move fast. In place.
Lewis is on.
Lewis is on.
He already said
Well, very
I
good.
know he did.
Well, we have a,
Like Rob.
I'd like it, later on today, it's not required that the board show up for this. I'm gonna be meeting, we advertised it as a special workshop at 3 o'clock this afternoon. I'm meeting with, or we're meeting, whoever wants to attend, with the landlords. There's probably 15 to 20 landlords that are coming in. I want to discuss with them the public nuisance abatement ordinance that's in our books right now. And I want to talk to them about how we as a group can make Elkton better. They have, most of the landlords, with the amount of properties that they own, they have as much vested in this town as anyone else does. And We just want to see if we can get everyone on the same page and make us a better outcome. So that's at 3 o'clock, we're going to meet with them, and other than that, this meeting's adjourned. Very good.